I always wonder why the governing body says that the elders and overseers and even the governing body themselves, they are your spiritual brothers or spiritual shepherds. When everything they do is literal, everything that you do, if you're a witness, everything you do as a member is literal. Okay, spiritually, you're not going out in field service. You're doing that. You're actually doing that. When, they ask for money, that's a literal thing. And you give it to them, that's a literal thing. When they tell you you can talk to, who not to talk to, what kind of music to listen to, what kind of music you can't listen to, those are literal things. When they tell you not to get certain medical procedures because of a misunderstanding of a scripture, and I don't even understand how you can misunderstand something when it says verbatim, do not eat blood. So how does eating blood means don't get a blood transfusion to save your life? You know how many people literally died because of that? Not spiritually, literally died behind not taking blood transfusions. Even myself, back when I was about to have my son, I'll never forget it. And this was way before I was even woke or anything. But what happened was, now it was time for me to get admitted into my room. And so I had to fill out paperwork. And one of the questions on my paperwork was, if something happens to where I need blood, do the doctors have my permission to give me a blood transfusion? And I circled no, because I was still in watchtower mode, and I circled no. Now it took for my husband to go back, find that nurse, to give back my paperwork, and he made me circle, yes, it's okay to give me a blood transfusion if I need one. Now, suppose if I died, is that a spiritual thing? Is that a spiritual thing? That is a literal thing, But I'm just really curious as to why the organizations say, well, we are your spiritual shepherds. But then when things hit the fan, like, okay, you have a pedophile in the congregation, and it gets spreaded all over the news, and you have to go to court and answer for that, the elders, and the first thing they say is, well, we're spiritual shepherds, and it's the parents' responsibility to protect their child. When as a shepherd, whether you're spiritual or whatever you want to call it, whatever cute little name you want to call it, as an elder, if these are your sheep and they're under your care, it was your job to notify people to say, hey, don't send your kids around this person because of this. Pedophile, rapist, whatever the case is, that was supposed to be your job as an elder. Since you make the congregation do everything else literal, why couldn't you literally tell them that to help these parents protect their kids? Since, they're not supposed to mingle outside the world. That you say that, the world is under Satan and nobody cares in the world. But it seems like the ones who really don't care are you. You don't care about your people. The governing body don't care about Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't. They just asked them for $45 million talking about some relief work. What is that? Why do you constantly need money when you're flipping halls? You're flipping them and you're taking the money from that. All these stocks that y'all have, and y'all still need folks' money. There's real things happening to people. People are committing suicides. People, which is a literal thing. people are getting molested. That's a literal thing under these so-called shepherds. You know, what kind of shepherd are you? Well, what kind of spiritual, which is a cute little name, what kind of spiritual shepherd are you? You know, I don't know. Man, I know I'm rambling, but I just want to know, how can they say spiritual shepherds when everything that they do is literal? Everything they're doing is literal. So why call yourself spiritual shepherd? That makes absolutely no sense to me. Just a thought.